God of War. This is one of the most anticipated games of 2018. And yes, it's one of the star franchises that Sony has in their portfolio. I never really played any God of War games though, so I decided that this will be a good opportunity to check them out. A few months ago, I reviewed part 1, and now it is time for the follow-up, God of War 2. A sequel that is received as good as God of War was is often a problem. Because how can you top that? How can you extend the story like that? These were my main questions when I started playing God of War 2. I heard that part 2 is even better than the original game. So, is this true? Did the Santa Monica Studios succeed to make a game that holds up even 11 years later? Let's find out. So, now, Kratos is a god. He killed Ares, the god of war, and now he took his place. This happened in the last game, so how can you top this? Well, even though he is a god now, he's still not satisfied. Kratos is still suffering from the past traumas, you know, the killing of his wife and kid. And he's taking his rage out on the mortal cities that he destroys one by one. When he's conquering Rhodes, Zeus had enough, and strips him from his powers and kills him. In Greece though, when you die, you don't disappear, but you go to the underworld. There, a furious Kratos swears to take revenge and to kill Zeus. He escapes the underworld with the help of the Titan Gaia, who also wants revenge on Zeus, and begins a journey to kill another god and everything that stands in his way. This is the story, but to be honest, the thing you do the most is killing. Killing soldiers, demons, mythical creatures, titans, heroes, demigods, you name it. Everything Kratos encounters must be destroyed. You do this with your good old blades, but you also get a hammer and a spear later on, which you can use to hack and slash the opponents. Or magical powers that Kratos can use to zap, freeze or shoot the opponents. There's enough choice here. Apart from the killing, Kratos must solve many environmental puzzles. Some of these are easy, but others are really complicated and can make you get stuck for a bit. The puzzles are a nice pace breaker for all the fighting you have to do, plus you get a chance to look around and enjoy the surroundings a bit, because these surroundings are just stunning. In the previous God of War, the backdrop was nice, but all in all very sandy colored. Rocks, interiors and caves, all were a shade of beige. In God of War 2, this is different. It seems that every location is created with variation in mind. From the blue bathhouses to the greens of the garden and the red of the fire cave where the phoenix lives. And yes, all these locations are just gorgeous to see. The detail is just amazing, especially if you consider that this is a PlayStation 2 game. Then what about the characters? Well, Kratos and most of the enemies he fights seems to be taken straight from the first game. They look good, but not amazing. The new characters look great though. Especially the boss fights are nice designed and very detailed. About the sounds and the music, I can be short. They're from the same level as the first game. I don't think there was anything wrong with it though. The sounds are great and the voice acting is very nice. And the music, epic as ever. You might have noticed I like this game. But why? What is it that makes God of War so great? The game does not do so much different, but it just refines and builds on what the first game started. One of the biggest strengths in God of War 2 is the level design. There are no levels with a beginning and an end, rather than areas. Each area has a hub and several doors that only open when certain sections are completed, either by solving a puzzle or killing a certain character. So, when you do this successfully, you get the means to go through another door until you can progress to the next section. This is a great way of getting familiar with the surroundings, and you can even start to care a bit about the areas. Besides, it's more realistic as well. Another thing I really liked was the sheer variety of ancient mythical characters that Kratos encounters on his quest. From Icarus to Prometheus, from Gaia to Perseus, there are a lot of them and they are looking great with very detailed modeling. Most of these characters are boss fights, so you have to kill them. But still, it is very well done. The only thing that bothered me a bit was that often the names are pronounced wrong. I mean, it's Perseus, not Perseus. Apart from the design of the levels, the fighting is more smoothly too. There isn't so much difference in the fighting styles in both God of War games, but the progression is much better. The red upgrade crystals are easier obtainable, so it didn't take me much effort to have a fully upgraded Kratos. And yes, a fully upgraded Kratos is just a joy to kick some ass with. And so is the whole game, a joy to play. Everything that God of War did is tweaked and just done a little bit better. But still, God of War 2 is not perfect. There are still points where Kratos is not controlling how it should. Usually this is because the developers kept the old control scheme. You can't control the camera in any way. The right stick is used for rolling away. I must say that usually this works pretty well, but there are some situations where the camera works against you. There are one or two puzzles that have the timing just a tad too tight, and near the end there's one quick time event which is very unforgiving. These are all nitpicks and don't really make God of War 2 less great. There's just one big complaint I have. One problem that can be a big problem, for me at least. This is Kratos itself. Kratos as a character is just very unlikable. In the first game he was taking revenge against the tyranny of Ares, which was sort of understandable. In this game though, he goes after Zeus, who took all his powers away because Kratos was acting like a bully and destroying cities, taking innocent lives. Not just that, he kills everyone in this game, even characters that are neutral to him. You come by beautiful places that are in ruins because of him. I felt no sympathy for Kratos, at all. But God of War 2 is a great game. One that comes close to a masterpiece if you ask me. To come back to the question that I asked in the beginning of the review, yes, this game is still worth playing more than 10 years after its release. I'm actually not sure if any game in this genre actually surpassed it in those 10 years. Maybe part 3, I should try that one out soon. So, my conclusion is, if you have a Sony console, and if you like hack and slash games, try God of War 2. And this was my review of God of War 2, maybe the best PS2 game ever released. What do you think? Please let me know in the comments. And sorry for the big delay with posting my videos, I had a big problem with my voice, so I couldn't make any new ones in the past few weeks. Everything seems to be fine now, so the next video should come up in a steady pace. Right now, I'm playing God of War 3, let's see if it can beat part 2. Please subscribe and like my videos to support me and, well, have a nice day. Bye bye.
God.